So you're bringing together the great and the good of capital and thinking. That's how I look at Milken. What is going to be the single biggest objective of this gathering?
The single biggest objective is to see what we can do to get people to focus on new ideas for improving the human capital as well as the financial capital in the region.
And in terms of, let's just dig a little bit deeper into that, because you are bringing together some pretty powerful investors from the private equity world, from Richard Branson, from Apollo, from a whole host of investors. When they talk about the opportunities in the region, what are they? Is it health and education, which are the staples of what most of our guests talk to us about?
Yeah, I think the answer is you have two different things. You have people who are here because the region is a great source of capital for investment elsewhere. And that's something which has been true for many years, and they always are interested in that. But they're looking at what the potential is for the region as a source of investment opportunities. And for that, they're focusing on exactly what you said. It's going to be what can be done to improve the human capital here and improve the depth of the capital markets to make this a more attractive place for investment.
Can we talk about the depth of capital markets? Because we have the inclusion story. It's what a lot of our guests have spent time talking to me about. But how deep are these capital markets? Are they sufficiently developed for some of the international investors that we bring here?
I think the answer is not yet. The capital markets are still relatively shallow in terms of trading and opportunities for entering and exiting investments. That doesn't mean that they're not sufficient for certain investments to be attractive, but you don't have the local capital markets yet at the depth that will allow for significant investment with an expectation of return from the capital markets rather than from exiting an investment in a private transaction.
Look, we have international investors from all over the world, but the home of Milken is the United States of America. Right. To what extent is American foreign policy in the region, which many would say is disruptive, and the Khashoggi affair delaying investment in Saudi Arabia? Let's deal with the Khashoggi affair first of all. How prescient an issue is that? Well,
I think it's obviously currently an important issue because it creates uncertainty. And the old saying is capital's a coward, it only goes where it's comfortable. And whenever there is any disruption, putting no value on what's true or not true, but the potential for disruption, people will be hesitant to invest.
Do you think people are worried that there could be I suppose, trade embargo? You know, there's a hunger on Capitol Hill to reprimand Saudi Arabia. Is that top of the agenda of what people are concerned about?
I think the concern is that it might happen.
Yes.
I think they're concerned about what may happen in Yemen. So they're concerned about the relationship within the region in terms of Qatar and how that will continue to play out. So there are a great many areas of uncertainty right now, and that uncertainty leads to hesitancy for all the normal reasons.
But in the longer term, I mean, you're right, you've stacked up the big issues for 2019 that are on every investor's plate. But in the longer term, if we get through some of these immediate storms, the return on equity in this region is perhaps the real elixir of life, isn't it?
Oh, but that's why the interest is still there. We're talking about timing. We're not talking about an issue of will there be investments at some point. It's the question of whether people are ready to go in now or they're going to hesitate and wait and see what's the opportune time.